I failed 8 classes in law school, and I'm going to tell you why I failed each and every single one of them and what I learned from it and how I bounced back. So yes, I failed 8 classes, but I still ended up becoming a lawyer, so that did not stop me at all. So the first class that I failed was called Business Organizations, or it can be also known as Corporation Law in some universities. The reason why I failed that was because it was the first semester during COVID when we all of a sudden went from going in person to online classes, and yeah, I really struggled that semester in general because online was just not it for me. But what I learned from that failure is that I learned that the current study strategies that I was using wasn't being really effective, especially for online learning. The second class that I failed was accounting, and the reason why I failed that is simply because I absolutely hated that unit. And because I hated it, I was not motivated to do a lot of the work. I'm not saying that I didn't do the work, like I was still doing the readings, I was still doing the studying, but the concepts were just so difficult. It was really hard to stay motivated. And obviously the lesson that I learned from that is when I pick an elective, like pick something that I actually like. I never picked accounting. I never touched accounting ever again. Okay, the third class I failed was equity and trust. One of the huge reasons why I failed that class is mainly because, one, it was so content heavy. It was a lot of work. I really struggled with that. And also a huge part of it, which is also a part of the reason why I failed my first few classes in general, was that I wasn't asking for help when I needed it. I was afraid to ask questions because they seem silly. And I really feel like that cost a lot of good marks in any of my units, to be honest. Because it was a core law unit, it was one of the units that I had to retake. So what I learned from that first experience was actually asking questions, staying on top of the content, staying on top of the work. So the second time I did it in my last semester, I ended up getting a high distinction. Because I did everything that I wasn't doing it the first time around. Asking the silly questions, staying on top of everything, addressing concepts that I didn't get as I go. I ended up getting a HD on the final exam the second time around. The fourth class I failed was an elective called Drugs Across Culture. The reason why I failed this was the most silly reason I could ever think of. I missed a deadline. I missed the deadline of one of the most important, huge weighted assessments. I had no exceptions because it was mainly out of my own ignorance. So I couldn't get any special consideration for that or anything. So yeah, I ended up failing that unit because of that. Still beat myself up over that to this day. And that's why the semesters moving forward, getting on the road to getting 3 HDs in my last semester